Hi everybody, welcome back to Wayne'sKitchen.com. I'm Gordon and I'm with, believe it or not, the actual maestro of the kitchen, and that's Wayne.
Wayne.
Right.
So, back to basics, here it is. Step one.
Buy a chicken.
No.
No?
Decide what you're going to cook.
Oh, right.
So step two is, well, let's do the prep. Let's get it all
Okay.
together so we can start cooking.
Right.
We're going to roast the chicken. Roast the chicken. Now we've got two choices. We can use this instead of using a setup like this, where you've got your little rack and you put your chicken down on it. I find that doing it this way, upright, the chicken is roasted nicely all the way around.
Okay, right.
There's no spots that aren't crispy on the skin.
Okay,
you know.
okay, that makes sense.
And I like this better. Throw a little bit of salt.
Okay. Now is that just regular table salt?
Yeah,
We don't
actually
need to use...
I use sea salt. Now they're salt and peppered.
Yeah.
And now all we're going to do is stick them in the oven. Okay,
So
good.
350.
So 350.
For how long, Wayne?
We're looking at least an hour and a half.
Okay.
And then we're going to check them in about an hour and a half. We're going to check them, and we're going to use a thermometer, because I like to use a thermometer, and it should be at 170.
Yeah. Fahrenheit.
Yes. A good rule of thumb, I suppose, is take a fork and stick it into the thigh. If the fluid comes out, the liquid that comes out, if it's clear, then it's done.
Okay, so that's a very good, that's a back to basics remedy.
Okay, so now, Gord,
Yes.
we're going to do the vegetables now. Set up for the vegetables. We're going to steam them. We're going to have carrots. We're going to have snap peas. And so you just peel it. Pull
Pretty
it towards
straightforward.
you. Actually, yeah, peel it towards you.
Yeah. Could you go, because I tend to peel away.
You could do that.
Is there any...
Actually, there's no rhyme or reason.
Okay.
I just like pulling it towards me. So let's cut our carrots. We're going to cut them at an angle.
How thick are you doing yours?
Just like 1/8 of an inch. And so the peas, we're not going to cut them. We're just going to eat it.
Right.
I said we're going to steam them, and carrots are one of those vegetables that takes a little bit longer to steam, right? Like potatoes. The next is going to be the snow peas, but see, we're not, or the snap peas as you call them, we're not going to cook these because these take like maybe 5 minutes in the steamer. We want them bright green and still crispy. So now we have the chicken in and it's cooking. We have to look at the potatoes because potatoes is a vegetable that's very dense and it needs to cook for at least 40 minutes.
Okay.
And then you test it, of course, with a fork.
Right.
So here is potato, and you cut it or peel it, and then cut it up in chunks like this because we're going to boil it. Put it in salted water.
Right.
Okay, you salt the water. How much salt? A tablespoon. Let's look at the potatoes. We had them boiling for probably 20 minutes now.
I think so, yeah.
So I'm just going to pull them over.
Nice rolling boil.
A big roiling boil. And so checking potatoes is important. You poke them, you should be able to, when you poke them they kind of fall apart, but they fall off the fork as well, right?
Yeah.
So they're done. So what has to happen with potatoes right now is we have to get rid of the water.
Yeah.
So they stop cooking. Now we're going to add some butter or margarine, whichever. I like to use margarine because it's just me. And take your milk, put in a dollop, and then you mash. And so now you see the temperature is almost at 180. We've probably got another 10 minutes of cooking, and then it'll be at 180, and then we can turn the heat off, pull these out, cover them up, and they'll be perfectly done. We're going to pull out the chickens.
Okay.
Very. And as you can see,
Wow. Doesn't that look great?
it's nicely toasted, and it's 180. At this point, we're just going to cover the chickens.
Okay. So we're just kind of tenting them.
Just tent them.
Yeah.
It's called tenting.
Great.
Like camping, only different.
Yeah. Okay. So there we go. So now it's going to rest.
It will. Yep.
Yeah.
For at least 10 minutes, thereabouts.
Okay.
And next we're talking about the gravy. Now we're taking the chicken off of the roasters. Now you might find out that they could be sticking a bit. So you need to make sure that it's not sticking on the metal bits.
And this could still be hot. So
Well, it's very hot,
right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
So you put your tent back on. We just work it off like that and put it on the plate.
Perfect. Okay.
Okay.
So we'll do that.
Again and again. Looking at, in this, at least 1 cup of liquid. from the chicken and such. So we'll just pour that in. That's a cup, easily. And because we're making gravy with a package, pour the crap in there. So we'll just whisk that together.
And we'll put that on the stove.
We will, and we'll cook it until it thickens. Okay, so here we are doing the gravy, and we're just whisking, waiting for it to boil. And it shouldn't take long because the liquid that we put in from the drippings was hot to begin with.
That's right, right.
And so we just want to bring this to a boil. And once it's boiling, it will thicken.
Very quickly, right?
Yeah, it won't take long. At this point in time, let's just pour that in on top of the carrots.
So why do you put yours on top then, Wayne?
Because we've got the heat from the carrots already,
Okay.
right? And we're going to turn that on again to make some more steam. These things will take less than 5 minutes. You can see it's
Very much.
starting to
Very
thicken.
much.
Yeah, it's good. And so you got to keep stirring that. And I'm thinking because of the way it's going right now, I'm going to turn the heat down a bit
Yeah.
and add some water to it. Pour some more water to it.
Okay. And I'll keep stirring while you're getting the water. Yeah, it's thickening up real quick.
For the vegetables, I like to use clarified butter. Now, clarified butter is simply butter that has been melted and cooked, if you will, until all the sediment that's in the butter itself sinks to the bottom, and you just take off the top of it, and you've got clear butter. Gordon, now we're going to carve the chicken.
Okay.
Now,
So we've got everything. We got our vegetables ready, our potatoes, the gravy.
gravy
The
ready to go.
chickens have rested.
They have, and they're sleeping right now. We have to wake them up a bit. Right, so let's take the tent off. They're not camping anymore. And we take the poultry shears that we have.
Okay.
And you've got your tweezers.
Yeah.
And let's just cut it down the center.
Okay. And we've showed that before on another episode of
Absolutely.
Wayne'sKitchen.com.
Yes, we have. And this is the best way, like when you're carving a chicken, like who carves a chicken? Like, come on. Let's just cut it up in the pieces that it belongs in. Cut your thigh off. Very simple and quick. Put your thigh down. Cut off the breast. Thusly. Good word that, isn't it?
It is.
Thusly.
Very good. Yeah.
And now you've got lovely
Nice breast.
lovely
with
with the skin on, yes, of course. And there we go. Well, my friends, thank you for bearing with us for the evening on the cooking of this gorgeous meal. Very simple, very basic, and we'll get into further on into the series. We'll get into recipes, like set recipes, but we're looking at just basic roast chicken with potatoes and vegetables and a nice salad and good friends, and oh my gosh, it was just great.